welcome to Kerry's Cards. Today's tutorial is going to show you how to make this lovely little gift box bag, but normally we do square ones, but today's one we're going to make a little circular one, but obviously it's square on the inside, and this is going to make a beautiful little gift bag to hold anything that we've decided when we did it in the workshop in the week that we could put a couple of bottles of alcohol in there as well, miniatures, chocolate balls, Lindor balls, anything will really fit in there. I'm using the designer series paper for this year's in colours. You can see it down there in catalogue in the current Stampin Up catalogue 134, on page 134, but we're using the in colour colours, which are here. So I'm going to use the Pretty in Pink one today. This one is the Peach Pie, and you can see it does make some really cute little book bags for us. Now there's two ways that we can make this bag. What you can do is, if you have a bowl or a plate or a saucer, this one, to make sure that it fits on your 6x6 circular card, or DSP, because it comes in 6x6 sheets, your plate needs to be no more than 6 inches. So you could get a plate or a dish that's 6 inches in diameter, and then draw around in the whole bit of the card, and you'll see here, this is one I made earlier, you can see it fits in perfectly inside the 6x6. I'm going to actually use the Deckled dies that are currently available in the current catalogue, and we're going for the biggest one. I don't like cutting out circles because I'm not very neat, so I'm going to use the Deckled die, and it gives a really nice little finish on the edge. So let's get crafting. So I'm going to take the largest one from there. Now my cutting machine is actually slightly too big to get on my table, so I'm going to cut from on the side. So the first thing you want is 2 pieces of designer series paper. Now, to make sure that everything lines up, I do it back to back like that, so they're the same pattern on each side. And then when I go to the cutting machine, I'm just going to line it up like that, and I'm just going to run it through the machine now. Okay, pop out. And there we have our nice circular bag, all ready to make a bag. Now the other option you've got here is to create a little handhole. This one here I've created using the Deckled dies as well. You could, if you wanted, alternatively use a punch and pop that in the top and make a handhold that way. So I'm going to use my Deckled Circle here because I'm going to use the leftover pieces that come out to make a tag. So let's just run that through again very quickly to make the handhold at the top. So there we have the basics of our card, of our bag that we're going to make. So let's just pop those over there out the way, and then let's get making our box that's underneath that's going to fit inside. Just pop those up there for now and get our pieces of paper. Now, to make sure that we get this correct, I've just printed or written down the measurements for the card base that we're going to need there, so you can refer back to it. The solid lines there are where we're going to cut, the dashed lines are where we're going to fold over. So if we get our trimmer first, now this base is going to be 8.5 by 7. Now this is 8 1/4, so I know it's not long enough to do that, so we're going to have to cut at 8.5 there. And this gives us a nice little bit left over so that we can do our tag. And by 7 inches here. There we are. Let's just come off. Right, now I'll get my scorer back on my board, and then what we need to do is we're going to score at 2.5 inches on each side of the box. This is going to give us the depth of the box. Okay, there we are. It's a nice deep box inside, so that's why you can put lots of nice stuff inside, deep stuff. Now, when we cut here, sometimes you could cut here to make the shape of the box, sometimes here, but we have to cut here on this one, because if we cut on this one and when we fold it up, this bit here is too big for there. It'll make sense when I cut it. So, cut down here. If you want to do a little bit of a slither, that'd be nice. Down there. Make sure that these two sides in this bit are the straight bits, because this is going to be the edge of the box on the outside. It's not too bad because you're going to cover it with the paper, so it doesn't matter quite so much if it doesn't line up as perfectly as you might like it to, or as normal. The reason being, as I said, is because you're going to cover the base of the box with the nice paper on the front. Okay, so there's our little slithers. So that's what our box looks like at the moment. Now we're going to burnish our box to make sure it's easier to put together. Now this is going to give us a base level of 3 inches by 2 inches. So this bit here is 3 inches by 2 inches. And then when we fold it all up, these bits then fold in on top of one another. So if we're going to get our glue, you might want to use double-sided tape if you like. I'm just going to put some glue on. As I said, I like the fact that it makes it easier to manipulate while it's still wet and line up that outside edge to the box. Do the same on this side. Line that one up. And swing it around and do the same here. Inside. And I'll tip that one in there. And there we have our box base that our bag is going to sit on. So the next thing we need to do is make that bit level at the bottom. And now I know that that is 3 inches there, 3.5 inches, sorry. So what we're going to do is on this bit, we are then going to pop our bag in and make it as symmetrical as possible. And then I want to get a ruler, and you want the base of your bag to be 3.5 inches. So just then move your round circle down a little bit until you're happy that that's about 3.5 inches. If it's slightly bigger, it doesn't matter. And then get your trimmer and just cut the bottom bit off, and that is going to be the bottom of our bag. From there, we can now stick our layers onto our box. And I'll stick the glue onto the box, not the paper, because the back of the paper doesn't fit in all the right place. And then line it up, and you'll see there when you turn it over that it's just a little bit over there, just a bit over there. And we'll do the same here. Bit of glue. I'm laughing because my OCD has noticed that the inside isn't quite level, but that doesn't really matter. Okay, so there we have, leave that to dry a little bit. Now I'm going to take my next size die, so we've got our offcut there. So I want the next bit round to give it a bit more of a tag. So I'm just going to go and run that through the die cutting machine. I'm going to glue this one onto here. Actually, maybe we'll do the stripe bit so it's a contrast. I'm going to get my little hole punch. Punch a little hole there. I've put 2 in to make the ribbon go through. Here's my bit of ribbon here. I'm going to do something slightly differently this time. Normally I might tie it into a bow, but it makes it too tight because it's only a paper bit there, so you don't want it too tight. So what I'm going to do now is pop that on like that. So that's the gift tag hanging. I'm going to get a piece of cotton, white cotton, and then I'm going to tie that round. Should be long enough. That is, let's just see how long that is. That is about 6 inches. And this is possibly the fiddliest bit of the whole thing. So hold it with fingers there on your left hand. And then tie it into a bow. There we go. And there we have our little gift tag on the side. So you can write on that side. And that's our lovely little bag. On this one, I did a stamped image from the Attention Shoppers because I thought it was quite fitting that it was a gift bag. So you could go down that route if you wanted. But there you have a lovely little, very quick, round gift bag that can hold all sorts of things. So have a go at making it yourself and let me know how you get on. Happy crafting!